of course, there are issues in our country. We are very young in democracy, and we are settling down, and we are consolidating democracy, and in the process, we are going to face challenges. And I am sure that we will be able to deal with that, and we will be the only democratic Islamic country in the world. We presently are the only multi-party 100% Muslim country in the world, and it's not an easy thing to do.
But it must hurt you in a way, given your background and your commitment, and I hear that commitment in your voice, to human rights, when a former Attorney General in your own country, Hassan Saeed, writes, Nasheed is a former prisoner of conscience, and yet he's threatened his own parliament. He's arrested MPs under laws which he himself opposed when he went through his own struggle.
No, we have not.
Two MPs are currently facing charges, aren't they?
This Prosecutor General is an independent institution, and I'm glad that the Prosecutor General has dropped the charges of these two MPs. I'm extremely glad that he has dropped these charges. He is an independent body. It's an appointed by the Parliament, and the government has no say on it, on who they charge and who they don't charge.
But talking of your democratically elected Parliament, they've refused to endorse at least half of your cabinet.
Well, we don't have a rubber stamp Parliament as they used to before, and of course they are all very new to the newfound democracy and the newfound freedoms.
Yes, but they have a mandate just as you do, and they don't like your cabinet picks, and they want you to choose new ones, but you're refusing to choose new ones, and you're basically forcing them to accept the old ones.
Basically, we have the last dictatorship as the opposition. We do not want to destroy the opposition through legal action. If we do that, we will not have a opposition. I believe that it would be best and it would be possible for us to bring about justice through the democratic process, not necessarily through charging these people. Now, if we go along and charge the whole of the opposition, we won't have an opposition in the Parliament. We don't like that situation. And I think the Parliament is very vibrant, and I think, of course, they will need time to settle down, and they are settling down.
Interesting that you say you don't want to charge unnecessarily. It would foment new political tensions, but the one very striking individual you've chosen not to pursue in any sort of legal fashion is the former president, your predecessor, President Gayoom. I mean, your own National Audit Office has itemised spending that, to use their words, was out of control. And given what we've discussed about your budget deficit, wouldn't it be worth challenging in the court some of his expenditures? 55 cars, a $17 million yacht, $70,000 trips for his wife to Dubai. Why are you not pursuing the former president?
Again, if we go for a witch hunt,
well, I'm not suggesting a witch hunt. I'm just talking about justice, and maybe, frankly, getting back some of the tens or maybe hundreds of millions of dollars that are alleged to have gone in this direction.
This is one of the most serious issues for us, how we deal with the former president. In the past, our culture has been dealing with former rulers very, very ruthlessly, and therefore we've always been in this circle of not having to be able to pull out of it. And I think the manner in which we deal with our former President Gayoom, would show us a path on how we may be able to move forward as a democratic society. I believe that democracy would dispense justice better than perhaps a courtroom drama.
Before we end, Mr. President, I just want to, in a sense, bring us back to the beginning. We talked a lot about the Maldives and the threat it faces from climate change. You have made a real big noise on the international stage, not least with your underwater cabinet meetings, also the life story, which is very remarkable. Why, in the end, though, should the world really care about the future of
There's not going to be a world. It's not. We are all Maldivians. It will happen to the Maldives today. What happens to the Maldives today will happen to England tomorrow. There's not going to be a planet. There's not going to be a humanity. If we have to understand this, that there are planetary boundaries. You cannot cut a deal with physics. You cannot cut a deal with Mother Nature. We have to understand that this is what is available to us, and we have to hand it over to future generations intact in the manner we found it.
President Mohammed Nasheed, thank you very much indeed for joining us on Hard Talk.
Thank you.